to go. I invite you to join me as we explore places to go and things to do. We're going up to Stamford this week, and we're going to be talking about the Stamford Center for the Arts, and my guest is someone who's been on the show before, and I've invited him back because of the great season. He's Richard Pheneger, who is the Director of Marketing for the Stamford Center. Richard, as I look over your schedule and I see what you're doing, I think you've got a blockbuster season coming up. What is it that makes a blockbuster season? How does it come together like this?
Well, in this case, one other guest that you've had on in the past is George Murdoch, our Executive Director. And George is really the one who leads us and puts all of this stuff together. And one of the things that George really makes himself accessible to the general public. We have what we call an FYI desk in both theaters now, the Rich Forum and the Palace Theater. And whenever we have an audience there, members of the audience are starting to realize that they can come over and talk to us, make suggestions of what they would like to see, compliments, complaints, or whatever the case may be. And George is there 99% of the time, and he listens to what they're saying. And he's got great tastes in all kinds of music and comedy and dance and theater. And I think that what we're doing this year is a culmination of all of that.
Well, I looked at your material, and I see that you've got 7 shows. Some of them are pre-Broadway, some are post-Broadway, some are touring companies. And the thing that runs through them all, and impresses me a great deal, and we'll go into some detail about them, is that you've got named people coming there, and you have people who are stars of the theater, of films, television. Is that working for you? Are you getting a reaction from?
Oh, we're getting fantastic reaction, and of course the first show of the theater season is Ira Levin's Death Trap. Now this hasn't been done for quite a while, and the producers were actually able to get Elliot Gould, who is most recognizable now because he plays Ross and Rachel's father on Friends, probably one of the most popular television situation comedies. Mariette Hartley, who has done television, has done stage. We had her 2 seasons ago in Sisters Rosenzweig. Marilyn Cooper, who was with Lauren Bacall in Woman of the Year.
Now, both of them, Elliot Gould and Mariette Hartley, are such well-known names.
Yes.
They've been around for years. Mariette Hartley, of course, with those wonderful commercials she used to do.
Polaroid commercials.
Commercials, and then she was on one of the morning shows on the network, and she's been working ever since. Elliot Gould, aside from being the former husband of Barbara Streisand, but he's always working. He's so well known. He's so distinctive in that, and they're terrific actors. And the show is great, isn't it? Death Trap. It's been so many years since I've seen it, and I really look forward to that. When is that playing?
That actually opens September 17th, and we have it for 8 performances through the 22nd. In fact, we've just added 2 preview performances that haven't even been announced yet. On the 14th at 8 o'clock, that's a Saturday night, and on the 15th, which is a Sunday night at Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So we're actually doing 10 performances of it, and the production is actually originating in Stamford. This is the other thing. George and Alex, who preceded him, Alexander Cohen, were able to attract enough attention of people who had been to Rich Forum to see what we were capable of doing, and even the Palace Theater. And it is not unusual for us to get calls from producers who say, look, we're starting a new tour, or we're starting an entirely new show. The Death-Defying Acts came in 2 seasons ago, and it actually originated in our theater. And this was Woody Allen, David Mamet, and Elaine May.
Wonderful show.
And so they came to work it out, and it was like an out-of-town tryout. It's far enough away from New York that they can still get a little bit of the New York publicity, but it gives the actors and the playwrights and all the creators an opportunity to work under a little less pressure than taking it in New York.
But in addition to that, in doing something that's pre-Broadway, here you do something that was a tremendous success on Broadway, and that's going to be a second production.
Right.
And let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, that one's Mrs. Klein. We're we're very fortunate in this situation to have the entire, it's a 3-character cast, but the entire cast, Uta Hagen. When was the last time you ever had a chance to see Uta Hagen? I mean, this to me, if she read the telephone book, I would come see her, because she is a 2-time Tony Award winner, a fabulous teacher, a fabulous performer, and I couldn't wait to beat a path to the Lortel Theater when it was in New York to see it. And then we find out that she's coming. Lila Robbins, who plays her daughter, is also coming, and Amy Wright, and it's a wonderful,
it got such marvelous reviews.
Oh, it
in
really
New York.
did. Yes.
So here you go. You started with something that is going to Broadway,
Right.
and then you've got something that's been on Broadway, and you're doing a tremendous amount of variety in terms of the things that you're doing.
Well, this is George too. I mean, it's obviously the product has to be there in order for us to go ahead and schedule it, unless we decide to try to do something on our own. But you remember a few seasons ago, we had the American premiere of the Royal National Theatre's production of The Madness of George III.
Oh, sure.
And that was such a big hit that we had it in Stamford, then it went to Brooklyn, and then to Baltimore, and then to Boston, and went home. Well, in that same tradition, we have the Lyric Theatre of Belfast coming, and they're going to be doing their own production of Brian Friel's Philadelphia, Here I Come. So you're going to see this, I mean, from the company that almost originated it, and I've seen a video of it, and it's just wonderful, and I think people are going to be very pleased.
Here's a combination of a great company
Yes.
and something that's well established.
Mm-hmm.
Again, here we say, wherever you want,
Right.
we can put it there for
You
you.
bet.
You say you've seen a video of it,
Yes.
so you have a good idea what it's about.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful. It really is.
They bring something really different than
Well,
original.
the brogue is there, but it's not such a heavy brogue that you can't understand it. And and they know the feeling for the language. And of course, Brian Friel, the first show that opened at Rich Forum when the building had its first stage production was Dancing at Lunasa, which is also Brian Friel. So we're very pleased that we're going back to something that is this solid, and to have it come from the Lyric Theatre of Belfast. I mean, it's you can't ask for much more.
When is that they're going to be playing?
That is going to be in October. I'm sorry, that's November.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The November 5th to 10th,
Yes.
I believe.
Right.
You mentioned the Rich Forum. You have 2 theaters, actually,
That's right.
that you use. The Rich Forum, well, let's talk about them.
Okay. Rich Forum is a state-of-the-art theater. This is our 4th season that we're in it. It's right at the corner of Atlantic Street and Tresser Boulevard, which is very centrally located in downtown Stamford. It seats 750 people. That's the main theater in there. And then we have a little black box studio, which will seat 150, that we can do experimental things. We had a rather long 6-month successful run of Forbidden Broadway. There are 2 other theaters in town that will rent the space to produce their things in it as well. Then we have the Palace Theater, which is about 3 blocks away, also on Atlantic Street, which is a renovated Thomas Lamb vaudeville house. Now, Thomas Lamb was probably one of the most well-known theatrical architects. He knew how to set up a theater internally for the acoustics, and it has all the ornamentation of the old theaters and the chandeliers and what have you. In fact, we're doing some renovation on that right now.
It's moving along. I know
Yes.
you're turning it into a space that you can use a lot better than you have in the past.
Ironically enough, the Palace seats 1,580 people, but the stage depth is only 20 feet deep, and that doesn't give you much room. And what we have done over a series of the last 3 years, we have gradually bought 2 buildings that are directly behind it, so that what we're doing is expanding the stage, or we're doubling it. It's going from 20 feet to 40 feet deep.
So the front is not changing, but
Not yet. That's in the next phase. There are 3 phases. One part has already been done that has to do with the amenities upstairs for the audience. Now we're in phase 2, and that has to do with expanding the stage. I don't remember. Have you ever been backstage at the Palace? Okay. The dressing rooms are on what we call stage left side, and they're rather old, and it's on 3 floors. No elevators or anything like that, so the actors have to walk up and down the stairs. We're getting rid of those to give us more space in the wings, and all new dressing rooms and elevators are going to be put in that will be under that 20-foot expansion in the back.
People don't realize that what is back there is so important to what is done up front, and all they see is what's in front. I mean, you work in a little black box, you can put a few sticks together and make
That's
a theater.
Sure.
But when you have the facilities, I suppose you can fly in all sorts of scenery and do as much. Now, the performances that we've talked about are all at the Rich Forum.
The first three that we've talked about, yes.
And then you do Ain't Misbehavin', right?
And Ain't Misbehavin' is going to be at the Palace Theater.
And the people that you have in that, and we do have
Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, if you can believe it. The Pointer Sisters have been doing it on tour for about the last 2 seasons, and they have just finished their tour, and it was so successful they decided to find another group, and it turned out that Martha Reeves and the Vandellas were interested in, so we're going to be doing that one.
That's a great show.
That's going to be at the Palace, and you'll get an opportunity because by that time the renovation will be completed, and you'll be able to see how much more depth there is to the stage and everything. So
it will lend itself to some of the other things that you're doing that are larger productions.
We finished last season with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, which is just phenomenal, but they have a company of 40 dancers, and there are a number of times throughout the evening that all 40 appear on stage. Well, their stage requirements are they have to have a depth of 35 feet. Well, of course, we were short of that, 15, but they still came because it's such a good experience for them. And they dance so well on 20 feet, and they don't run into each other. They're so well trained and everything. So you could just imagine what it's going to look like to see them on 40 feet with 40 people on stage. It's going to be wonderful. So we're going to be able to take advantage of a lot of different things.
I want to talk some more about some of the other things you're doing, but first I do want to remind our viewers that we're talking about the Stamford Center for the Arts and its marvelous season that they're doing. My guest today is Richard Pheneger, who is the Director of Marketing there. We talk about named people, and Don Juan in Hell has certainly got a lot of names, famous people, really famous people.
This is going to be an interesting production because this is part of George Bernard Shaw's Man and Superman. And when Man and Superman is produced, rarely is this portion of it included. So what they have done is, apparently in the 40s, there were people like Ronald Coleman and Tallulah Bankhead and Irene Dunn and a lot of people of that ilk who put together what was called the first drama quartet to do Don Juan in Hell as a reading.
Yes.
Well, Harris Yulin, who is a very well-known actor as well as director, became so enamored of that he has put together a company that includes Renee Auberjonois, Ed Asner, Diane Wiest, and Harris himself, and this is the second drama quartet, and they are going to be doing Don Juan in Hell for us at the end of the season for 8 performances, and it will be a staged reading. They'll actually have music stands in front of them. They'll have the scripts in hand and what have you, but it is such a privilege for us to have an opportunity to do something like this.
Talk about stage readings. You're also doing love letters, aren't you?
Yes. We did it a few years ago with Robert Wagner and Stephanie Powers, and everybody thought they were married anyhow. This year he's coming back with his real wife, Jill St. John, and this is A.R. Gurney's gem. It's just wonderful to see. I mean, these two people come out and they sit down at a table much the same as we are. They have the letters in front of them, and to vocally and bodily language or body language and whatever, to see them change age from what they are to really young and then to when they get older, and it's just an exchange of love letters between two people over a great many number of years.
This has been done by many duets.
Oh, yes.
People love to do that for some reason. The theater people love to do this, probably because they can work with the script in front of them.
Right.
Don't have to commit.
And work with their favorite people.
Work with their favorite people. And it's got such acclaim. It's such a great opportunity for people to come up and see that. There's a 7th production that you're doing, which you haven't announced
yet.
We
haven't announced it yet. George is that close to announcing what it's going to be. And if it does work out, it's going to be along the same lines as The Madness of George III that came from the Royal National Theatre of Great Britain. That's the only clue I can give you.
We've talked about theater, but you're doing other things as well.
Oh, sure.
And
we have a complete concert series. Now, the other thing, and you've sort of alluded to it, one of George's big things, since we have these two buildings, he hypothetically would like to see something going on in both buildings all of the time. Well, economically, that's not quite feasible yet, but what he is doing, we used to talk about the Forum season and the Palace season. Everything that was in the Palace used to be just concerts. Well, George has changed that around already. We're doing some of the concert things in Forum, and as I said, with Ain't Misbehaving, we're taking some to the Palace. We're doing 42nd Street as a bonus production between Christmas and New Year's. That will be at the Palace Theater. The Love Letters that you talked about will be at the Palace Theater. In the same token, we're going to be doing the Flying Karamazov Brothers, and we're going to be doing those brothers at Rich Forum. So we're getting greater use and more flexibility. And ironically enough, there are some people who, participated in the theater season and might not have been interested in the concert and only came to Rich Forum. So now we have them going to both. And we had a great deal of success last year for a week's run of Jesus Christ Superstar at the Palace with Ted Neely, who did the film, who's still playing the same role. Such a hit that the tour is just winding down now, and they called us to see if they could come back for 2 more performances. And we're going to have the actual cast back again the Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
We talk about famous names, and of course we have a famous name and a famous voice.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about what he's doing.
If you've seen Independence Day, and I guess just about all of us have, you'll recognize the voice and the person that's Harvey Fierstein. He's a Connecticut resident, a Tony Award winner for La Cage aux Folles, and a number of other things. I can't remember the first show that he did, the one that he wrote. But anyhow, he's coming in for an evening with Harvey Fierstein and friends. And it turns out that the friends are going to be Ann Hampton Callaway, and who is a cabaret singer, and Julie Halston, who is a comedian.
And both great performers.
Oh, yes. And a trio. I mean, you're going to see all 3 of those people in one evening.
I'm a great fan of cabaret, and I do have quite a few cabaret performers here on the program. And I just interviewed a few weeks ago Steve Ross, who is the Crown Prince of Cabaret, and I think that'll be a great evening for people who are fans.
Right.
But you're not only in the area of popular entertainment, but classical too. And you have some great names there.
Yes.
So let's talk about Itzhak Perlman.
We're going to have Itzhak Perlman with Sam Barber at the piano, and he is coming in. We try to schedule Itzhak Perlman at least once every 2 to 3 years, and so it's time for us to bring him back, because this is the other thing. George listens to the people at all of the concerts and all of the stage productions, and people keep saying, when are you going to have Itzhak Perlman back? So he's answering those requests, and he's on the season.
He's a great attraction.
Oh, he really is, yes.
Back to this whole concept of name performers. I know, because we've had the discussion on the show, George participated in it, that audiences are changing, subscriptions are down. How is the audience reacting to what you're doing this time?
Theater-wise, the audience is reacting extremely well. We have the theater brochure that is out now, and it's been out for maybe 4 weeks or so. The concert brochure will be coming out very shortly, so people will have an opportunity to see how eclectic the whole lineup is of everything that we have. But so far, with our fingers crossed and people realizing the same as you are, that look at this entertainment, look how close it is. And I know we're here in Westchester, and when I came in from Stamford, it took me like 20 minutes to get here. And that's not bad at all. And
that's all it takes.
I think I've referred to this on the program before, and I mean no disrespect, but for some reason, people in Westchester think to come to Stamford for entertainment, they have to have a passport or something, that it's easier to go into New York.
It's closer, actually.
Stamford, you mean?
Stamford is much closer.
Oh, definitely. And less hassle. I mean, you don't have the hassle of parking. You don't have, you get all kinds of restaurants in the theater area.
It is very convenient.
It's really wonderful. And I'm not denigrating denigrating anything in New York either, because I go to New York as often as I can to see whatever I can, but it's right here, literally in your backyard.
We've really got a wonderful, and of course we've talked about on this show many times, we have a wonderful range of entertainment that's available in Westchester, in Connecticut, and I think that among the offerings, I think what you're doing in Stamford is absolutely great.
And to a certain extent, and I'm sure the general public sort of perceives it as we're competing with each other, but we're really not, because we complement. If we got somebody to come to Rich Forum, then somebody's going to go to the Emlyn because of something that we have seen, or they're going to go to SUNY Purchase, or they're going to go to Westchester's Broadway Theater, or something else. And it's theater, and it's performing, and it's entertainment, and that's what we're selling. And each one of us does the best that we possibly can, and we interlock a lot, or interact a lot.
One of the things that I want to do is to make sure that we give the telephone number that people can call to get more information. What number should they call?
That's the box office number. It's 203-325-4466.
Would you just repeat that again?
Sure. 203-325-4466.
And we will, as usual, put that up in the closing credits. Okay. Also, the location up on, New England Thruway?
Yes, I-95 to Exit 8. And Exit 8 comes in, you are right on Atlantic Street as soon as you get there. You go back under the turnpike, and Rich Forum is 2 blocks away from that. You can't miss it. It's got what we call a zipper sign on the front of it, which is like the Times Square sign, the message going around. Ours doesn't go around the building. It just goes across the front of the marquee. And then 4 blocks away from that, also on Atlantic Street, is 61 Atlantic Street, where the Palace Theater is. So it's very centrally
located.
There's
lots of parking in the area, an awful lot of parking in the area. It's really great. Let's talk some more about what else is happening during the season. We've talked classical, we've talked theater.
Well, let's talk about something maybe for the younger people. We have Spyro Gyra coming in. And this is a favorite group of George's, and that's and we, as I said, he goes around. He not only talks to the general public, but he talks to us and the staff as well, and wants to know. And of course, we're all great Spyro Gyra. They've got a new album coming out, so they're currently on a tour, and I think everything is going to work exceptionally.
They have a tremendously long life. They're popular, but their popularity is really terrific. I know that whenever you mention Spyro Gyra to people, their eyes light up.
Right. Sure.
It must be great for you being in the midst of all of this and seeing all this happening. And,
well, it certainly isn't routine. That's the thing that I like. It's not, mass production. We're doing the same thing over and over again. Each show is entirely different unto itself. And sometimes we find not a lot, but a great deal of overlap in audiences. And it's an opportunity for us to, and I hate to use the word, but it's the only thing that I can think of, educate our audiences. If they come to one thing and they really like it and they say, well, what's next? Well, maybe it's somebody that they really don't know, but because they've had such a good time at what they're just seeing now, they'll take a chance. And so they educate us and we help educate them.
What I like about the Rich Forum is it's so elegant, and yet what goes on there is so down to earth.
Yes.
You walk into this theater and with its proscenium in the lobby, which is exciting. And yet what you're presenting there communicates. It's small enough so that people can feel very close to what's happening. And
intimate, yes.
And it's not off-putting at all. It's elegant but not off-putting, which I think is right. And of course, that's something that's important to you.
Oh, sure.
That.
Sure.
And of course, the Palace, well, it is a palace in a sense. It's really nostalgic.
And will even be more so when we finish all the different, because what we have done, the restaurant right next door, or there's an alley and then the restaurant, burned about 8 months ago. Obviously, they're out of business, so we bought that as well, and we're just tearing that part down. So what we eventually, the third phase of the Palace Theater will be building of a rehearsal space, some offices for the production people who come through, a conference-type area, and then a small restaurant, so that sometime within the next 5 to 6 years, when we're back on the program again, or whoever it is that comes back, we'll be able to say, well, you can come and have dinner in such and such a room at the Palace, and then just walk a few feet and then go right into the theater and see what's going on.
It's such an ongoing operation.
Yeah.
There's a strong ongoing. What about projections beyond the specific shows we talked about? Have you announced what some of the other things are, concert things and others?
Well, we're going to have, there's a whole children's series. One of the things, in this day and age, our biggest competition is video games, videotapes, arcades, and what have you, that young people are really playing all of the time. And we're, to a certain extent, losing our audience. If you come and stand in our lobby, and in fact, any theater's lobby, you see that most of the people who attend are our ages, and we're missing those people. So there is a young series that we're doing. It's called the Student Theater Art Series, and we work directly through the schools. And in many cases, it's the first time that some of these youngsters have been into a live theater. They think they're coming to see a movie, or sometimes they really don't know what they're going to see. The teachers have prepared them to a certain extent, but it's, in a great many cases, the first experience with live theater. And we always operate, again, on that premise that if you get them for one particular production, then it's going to be such a great experience for them that they're going to want to come back. And then we expand that into a family series. We're going to Wienerville on Nickelodeon is probably one of the biggest things for kids right now. And Mark Wiener is the one who put that together. Well, he's touring in Wienerville live, so he's going to come to the Palace Theater and do a production of that. We have Cirque Éloise, which is from Canada. It's primarily some of the people who used to be with Cirque du Soleil, who have gone off on their own to try to do something a little different.
Marvelous.
They're coming in, and
great.
we had a huge success with them last year. Oh, okay.
You've got so much to talk about, and it's so great, and I'm really looking forward to a wonderful season. I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you very much.
We've been talking today with Richard Pheneger, who's Director of Marketing for the Stamford Center of the Arts. They have a wonderful season, much variety, a lot of named people. Go see it, go there, enjoy it. I'm Norman Liss. The name of the program is The Way to Go, and until next time, enjoy yourself.